Welcome everybody to ESC Fan TV. It's a Friday night, which can mean only one thing. It's MGP 2021 time again. This time it's Heat 3. And we are so pleased to be back with you to share our thoughts on who we think will qualify and who we think might not. We're going to say hello to our panel. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Stu. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good job with Elliot on Wednesday night. I heard the wise cracks you made about me. Time to get my own back.
Fine. And do you know what the nice thing is, Stu? Is that you've positioned yourself nicely between the pair of us. So we can both prod you like that. See?
I know. What do they say? A rose between two thorns. Anyway, nice to see you, Tom.
Swiftly glossed
Talking
over.
about the other thorn, we're about to say hello to Elliot. Hello, Elliot.
Hello. I see myself more of a hydrangea than a thorn, thank you very much. I'm much more glamorous, yes.
I'm sure the chat room might have some other names that they might use to describe you, but we'll get to that later. Good to see you, Elliot. I'm going to say hello to Joe.
Hello, god kveld, everyone.
Gokvel, Joe. Good to see you. Hello to Steve.
Hi there, everyone. Hope you enjoy this.
Yes, absolutely. Hello to Ian and Donna.
Good evening.
Good evening. We're going to go to Cyprus. Definitely not Turkey, definitely Cyprus, to say hello to Marius.
Kalispera, Gukveld, hello.
We're going to go to Latvia next. We're going to say hello to Lana.
Hello, so excited to be here.
Good to see you, Lana. And finally, we're going to go to the actual host country. We're going to go all the way to Norway. So hello to Morten.
Hello, good evening. Hopefully I have a wonderful show talking about the best country in Europe.
Well, we're going to find out about that, Morten. We've certainly had a good few weeks so far. So what's tonight all about? If this is the first time you're joining us, let me tell you what you're in store for tonight. We're going to run through all 4 qualifying entries for tomorrow night's live MGP3. But you get to vote for who you think will qualify. And you might be thinking to yourself, how the heck do I do that? And I'm also thinking that, so I have to put this little banner at the very bottom of the screen, which helps me remember. You have to go to menti.com, type in the code 60 57 53 and 2, and you get to choose your favourite entry. At the very end, we're going to tell you who you have voted for. And by the way, guys, if you choose the wrong one, it's your fault. That's right. And if I remember rightly, we chose Yawn for the very first heat, and of course, plus Marfian qualified with some ease. Enough about that. We're also going to talk about the pre-qualifier, the best song in Melodi Grand Prix so far. Obviously, I'm going to say that I absolutely love it, but we'll get to that later. We're going to kick off with tonight's show. Song 1 is Big Daddy Karsten with the song Smile. Let's have a listen.
And invite over a guy or two. Come on. Please, man, smile. 'Cause you're more beautiful than all these guys. You're my number one, I swear, no lies. We can do this thing us two.
So I'm sure you've heard the news about Big Daddy Karsten. He is very famous. He's 32. He's kind of a rap pop artist. He's a singer-songwriter. He's done many festivals in Norway. He's openly gay, and he sings about it in this song. So we're going to find out what our panel think about this song and whether they think it's a potential qualifier. Let's start with, I'm going to go to my co-host, as always. Start putting stuff up, Tom. By the way, Tom's in the chat room. Make sure you chat away to him because he needs friends. Don't you, Tom?
I've got lots of friends, but I can always make more friends to it. This is the thing.
Exactly.
And
More friends.
who wouldn't want to make friends with a Big Daddy? I mean, absolutely fantastic song. I love it. Bounce around the kitchen to it. I'm really looking forward to the staging of this tomorrow night as well. It's just one of those real feel-good songs, and I have to say, Stu, you know, this week I've been desperately in need of feel-good songs, you know, and this is exactly the tonic. And you know what? I hate to say it because I know you're loving the auto qualifier, but I'm going to stick my hat in the ring that I haven't got and say this is the best song this evening. There we go.
Interesting. What a good way to start the show off, Tom. Bit of positivity on this particular entry. I'm going to come to Steve next. Steve, these are quite intense lyrics going on here, aren't they?
They are very intense. And I have to admit, when I saw the list of artists, and this is when I hope there's more people of my age group here. I thought it might be a reference to Big Daddy Kane, who was a big American rapper in the late 80s. And I don't suppose any of my fellow panelists even remember that name. Yeah, there's lots of kind of twisting of heads going on. I liked this, actually. I thought it was pretty good. It didn't feel like rap much to me, actually. There's a kind of bit of a rap at the beginning, and then it's Eurovision all the way, really, isn't it? But it's inoffensive. I'm not sure it's the winner of the semi-final. But I'm actually mostly unsure about this semi-final anyway, because I think there's a stinker amongst them, and we'll probably disagree which one that is. But I think that it's fairly level pegging for a lot of these songs. So be interested to see how this does and what the performance is like.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing some of these comments. We'll get to the pre-qualifier later, people, and then you can banter me as much as you want, and I will take it like a good un. Let me tell you that. Big Daddy Karsten with the song Smile. Let's talk to... Who are we going to go to next? Let's go to Marius. Marius, what do you think about this? And thank you for coming dressed as Big Daddy Karsten this evening.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm a bear too, so woof to him. So, first of all, I would like to say it's great to see a gay rap song at Eurovision. I hope it goes. It's a happy rap song, and this is why I love this. Normally, I don't like rap songs, but this has a happy feeling to it. And as Tom said, I found myself shaking my, a bit in the kitchen today listening to it. So, he's sweet. He's got a perfect set of teeth, in case you haven't noticed. But the song is very, very happy, and I think that it might surprise everybody. I think the staging is important, but if I'm thinking correctly, I'm sure he will put up a very, very good show tomorrow. And I remember the last happy rap song we had, if you remember, Denmark, 1997. Do you remember that? With the lady at the phone?
Denmark, 97, yeah. Cool Kai.
That was a happy song. I really loved that back then. So yeah, great effort. I think this will do really well.
It's funny, actually, when you reference pop and rap songs, I haven't enjoyed a pop and rap song quite since 2006 UK, when Daz took to the stage. And we might come on to Daz later, because he's done it again for Belarus this year with a very similar sounding song. Better, however. Joe, how are you expecting this performance to go down tomorrow evening?
I don't know what he can do, to be honest. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of rap, but I love his chorus. So I think what he'll do is he'll get some dancers, and he'll stand quite still or just sort of walking when he does his rap, and then those choruses go, and he'll be dancing. And if there was a crowd, they'd all be cheering. But if there's no crowd, I don't know how it will react. No idea what he's actually going to do, to be fair, with this one. But I will wait and see.
We certainly will. And then I'm going to come to Morten, because he's got all the goss from the Norwegian end, and he'll probably tell us what Norway are thinking about this entry right now. What's the story, Morten? What are people in Norway saying?
Well, they're actually kind of mixed. There are some people who loves this, and they're saying that this is automatically going to win, and this is by far the best. There are other people who are saying like this is the worst, and they don't like rap, so they don't like this song. But I'm kind of in the middle. I like the song, but I think it's kind of plain. Other than the rap, I think the chorus it's good. It's good mood, but I don't think it's much more than that. I had an interview with him for 2 days ago where he spoke about the staging. He will be dressed fully pink one piece with the bear logo and 6 dancers. That's all I know. Will be really interesting. He's a top guy. I love speaking with him. So the personality, nothing wrong with that. The song lacks a little bit for me, but absolutely a contender to go through.
Yeah, and I must say, he is a really top guy as well. He speaks very well, and he's very pleased to be there. So, yeah, all the very best tomorrow night, Big Daddy. And that's the first time I've ever said that. Anyway, if this was your favourite song, yes, it is, Steve. I saw you doing that. These panelists, I think we need a new thing. Anyway, what are the chat rooms saying, Tom?
Do you know what? The chat room are on absolute fire this evening. You've been called the ham to Elliot and Tom's sandwich, which I thought was absolutely a brilliant thing to say. But also, with regards to the actual song, Martin Palmer thinks that Semi-Final 3 has the best studio versions of any that we've heard so far. David reckons it's a feel-good song, but it's going to be hard to enter the final. Annie Jo says she can't choose this week. It's going to be a tough decision. And also says she's going to put her money on Morton's favourite, whatever it may be, because she hasn't got a clue there as well. And all Alina is interested in is where it's going with the Stuart and Rayleigh challenge. And Eurovision echoes that. Thanks for bringing up Stuart's Rayleigh Splash Dance Challenge. It's even got a name, people. Hashtag Stuart Splash Dance.
I really don't need to do this now, do I? And guys, if I do it, I will only do it for charity. So if you want me to do it, then we'll have to do something about this for charity. So ideas in the chat room. I will do it. And I will soak myself in the freezing cold weather for your viewing pleasure. But I'm not doing it without you putting some money up. So if you want to put some money up for charity, then we can talk about it. Happy to do that. Okay, that's song 1 done. If that was your favourite, make sure you vote for it at menti.com 60, 57, 53 and 2. We're going to move on to song number 2. This is Dinaya with Own Yourself. So what do we know about Dinaya? She's the youngest participant in MGP this year. She's 17 years old. She's also been in MGP Junior in the past. It's probably more Elliot's bag, seeing as he runs the Eurovision Junior competition, or whatever it's called these days. And she has co-written this song herself. So I think the other thing that's quite interesting about this is she's a singer-songwriter and a dancer. So I think we might expect something quite spectacular tomorrow. Let's go to Lana on this one. Lana, what are your views on this song? And is it an advantage or a disadvantage, her being the youngest participant, do you think?
I think it's an advantage because perhaps there's like a lot of viewers my age of MGP, so the song might appeal to them. And I do like it. I like the message. It's very empowering, and it's also a feel-good song. But I don't know about its ability to get through to the final, because it didn't really stand out compared to the other songs. I mean, we've got Big Daddy, we've got Witchwoods with like crazy lyrics that we'll probably discuss later. And this was the last song I listened to, and it doesn't stand out.
Didn't do it for you. Fair enough. Let's go to Ian and Donna. So when I listen to this particular song, do you know what I hear? It takes me back to 2016 Belgium. It takes me back to Laura Tesoro, What's the Pressure? Did anyone else get that? There's a bit of that, surely. Is this a song with the right performance can qualify tomorrow evening?
I don't think so.
No.
I think it'll be good. It's definitely, we're going retro again with these. It's got a, we're back to sort of there's definite Stock Aitken Wortman sound in there.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
that,
But she ain't no
you know,
Kylie, let's face it.
But I can see this being a pretty good performance. A lot of energy. If she is if she's a dancer, I think that'll be a key part of the performance.
Definitely.
And it'll be good. I don't think it'll be enough though.
No, I'm more or less in agreement with Lana there. I like the lyrics of this one out of a lot of the songs, but I don't know, unless she's got some stage presence, I don't know if she can pull it off compared to the other three.
Thank you very much for your comments. Elliot, so as a dancer yourself, what are you expecting from this performance tomorrow evening?
Bright gold parachute pants, very Diana Ross. To be honest, like that's where my brain instantly went. Like the whole like gold disco, that sort of era. Like I said, it's cute, it's happy, but you know, I'm not shocked she did Junior MGP because it sounds a bit like a Junior song. Like her voice is very young, the lyrics are very young, and it's all a very young, empowering message. It's everything we've heard 1,000 times before, and I think that's its biggest pitfall, that there's nothing original in this song, and especially this year where there's that massive throwback feel. I think it's going to be a great experience for her. She's going to give it her all. Do I see this winning? Sadly not. It just feels, there's just something missing somewhere in this song just to lift it a little bit higher. That's it.
Thanks, Elliot. That said, though, I'm just going to revert back to a few semi-finals ago when we heard Bless Mafia, and everyone went kind of, it was nice. You know, there's Moldova 2017 vibes, but ultimately, you know, it's not too sure, but ultimately it absolutely stormed that semi-final. Marius, you know, what do you expect from tomorrow night's performance and staging with this particular song? And could it surprise?
To go through, I don't think so, but the staging, I believe, will be very good. We have a case here of a good singer with a mediocre song, and you compared this to Belgium 2016. 2016, Belgium was one of my favorite entries that year, and I was so happy that it did that well, so which is much better than this one. I would still say it's the weakest out of the 4 songs, but again, we as you said about Blast Mafia, and we put it down and then it ended up winning, but I don't think it has that oomph that Blast Mafia had. So I guess it will not go through, but it's an okay song. I would actually put this song as my wake up ringtone in the morning, just to wake me up.
Well, as long as it doesn't send you to sleep. Thank you, Marius. And can I just say the Laura Tesoro reference was entirely for Alina, who's in the chat room this evening, because she can't stand that song. It's from her own country. So hello, Alina. Nice to see you in the chat room. Coming to Morten last but not least. What are Norway saying about this particular song? Because she's sort of known-ish, isn't she? And she's kind of done the circuit. She was in MGP in 2017 as a backing singer. You know, what's the thoughts on this?
Yeah, she was a backing dancer, at least in 2017, for Mesterverk. She also was in Norwegian Idol last year, so and Norwegian MGP Junior. So she has a lot of experience at such a young age. And of course, one of the songwriters, Christian Ingebrigtsen, was the songwriter for Rikke last year. So the expectations were high. Unfortunately, the expectations didn't go as high as people thought, because personally this was my favorite after the first listen of the 4. It has fallen down a little bit, but you can't say no to wind instruments, in my opinion. So if a song has wind instruments, it's good for me. But this song it's probably the song that the least people like in Norway, but still has the competition to win. That's how close this semi-final is. So tomorrow everyone can win, but this is probably the song with the least chance to.
This is the rank outsider. Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, the very best of luck to Dinaya tomorrow. Tom, actually, I'm going to bring you in on this. I've got a funny suspicion that this is right up your alley.
It is. The comparison, everyone's comparing it to sort of like Laura from 2016, things like that, and they've been doing so in the chat as well. Eurovision has compared it to a weak Spice Girls B-side, but the one vibe I get from this song actually is off of Gina G, post Ooh Ah Just a Little Bit. She released an album called Fresh, and it was what I could describe as light bubblegum-esque pop. Not a lot of bass going on. A kind of very light, fluffy pop style, and do you know what? That's the style I get from this, and I love it. Totally, you know, non-offensive, really happy-go-lucky pop. Is it going to be a heavyweight champion tomorrow night? Unfortunately, I agree with what everyone else is saying, and I think she's going to struggle. Purely because I think you need that depth in terms of the song in order to actually stand out in this. Because I think out of all of the 3 heats we've seen so far this year, this one is the one that's going to be the hardest to pick. And absolutely, take my hat off to you if you manage to pick tomorrow night's winner straight off the bat, because I think it's anyone's.
Yeah, tomorrow night's winner's Kaja Rode with Feel Again, just putting that out there. Anyway, we're going to move on now to song number 3. This is a bit of a fan favourite. In fact, it's the bookies' favourite to qualify tomorrow evening. This is Emmy with Which Woods.
It's a simple lie. Your soul will touch the sky. We'll put our magic spell on you. Welcome to the Witch Woods. Welcome to the Witch Woods. Welcome to the hook.
So Emmy's also been in a previous MGP Junior back in 2015. She's a member of a soul children's choir. What else can we say? She's written tons of entries, and this is an enchanting, mesmerising, up-tempo pop song, which has all the fans going crazy on Twitter right now. So let's hear what some of the fans think of this song. I'm going to come to you first, Elliot. The lyrics are crazy. Chop, chop, boys, like we chop, chop wood. We burn you up in a bonfire, burn you up in a bonfire. What the heck is going on here?
I don't have a clue, but I bloody love it. I would not anticipate this from Norway at all. And, bar maybe one or two, I think this is one of my favourite songs so far. It's witchy, it's enchanting. Her voice reminds me of Glinda from Wicked. So it's a bit like if Once Upon a Time did a remake of Wicked, and it's that sort of like darker side. Because it's this really weird sort of like R&B hip-hop mix with this very light, evil voice, but it works really, really well. I really like this. I don't know how the hell they're going to stage this. I think that's going to make or break this tomorrow, the staging. And it's got a violin hook in it, which just sets the tone so much better. So I don't think I'll be going down to the woods today if Emmy is doing that, but I love this song. It's brilliant. I love it, and it has to win tomorrow. Has to. Like, I'm saying it now, this is the winner for me.
But if you go down to the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise, Elliot. So anyway, let's move on to Joe. Joe, what's your thoughts on this particular song?
My favourite lyrics of this song, we talk about lyrics, is definitely "Bear pong is not what it seems." I love those lyrics. It's grown on me, I have to say. Not a massive fan of her voice. I really don't like the way she sings. Definitely more suited, I think, to a stage or a musical with a story behind it, which is maybe how it will stage tomorrow. But I have to say, it's really growing on me, and some of those lyrics just make me laugh. They really do.
They're kind of mental, aren't they? Steve, what kind of a performance are we expecting tomorrow night, do you think?
Well, I don't quite know how they're going to pull this one off. But I have to say, I find this one the most irritating in the selection. And I've heard it time and time again. But I think it's all going to be about the presentation on the night. But I just find it a bit kind of manufactured, trying to be cool. I wasn't a big fan of it. But I suspect it probably could get through. But it's all going to be about the presentation on the night, I think. And if they can really get something really cool done, then it'll probably walk it.
So I think this has the ability to go one or two ways. It can either be an absolute car crash if it's done poorly and is off key, or it can be an absolute masterpiece. Lana, what are we expecting? Are we expecting car crash or masterpiece tomorrow night?
I have no idea, and I would have never expected to agree with Elliot, because he is obviously tasteless, among many other things. But this is so catchy, and not like in a BD Bell way, like, god damn it, I cannot stop listening to it catchy, but like, I love it catchy. And I was watching reactions on YouTube to this earlier, and most of the people doing them happen to be men, and just seeing their faces on the lyric, "Here we chop chop boys like we chop chop wood," such a pleasure, if you ask me. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Thanks for that fantastic insight, Lala. Ian and Donna. Oh, Where we go with this? Is this a Jamie Lee Ghost 2016 or a Vampires Are Alive 2007? Which one are we going? Are we going masterpiece or are we going disaster?
Do you know, I don't mind if it's either, to be honest. I just like this song so quirky as it is, and it's been brazen enough to get it out there. If Netflix hired it as a franchise, I'd definitely watch it, because it'd be hilarious. It's just got that TV theme vibe, hasn't it? You know, it's the next level up from Nickelodeon, and we're going into that witch territory, and it's got 3 seasons lined up, you can tell. Yeah, no, I quirkily like it. It's the lyrics just made me go, oh my god, when I first heard it. But that violin hook, I mean, we've heard it so many times because it's based on a classic, you know. You cannot not know that. And in Britain, obviously, they use variations for the South Bank show, you know. It's still got that catch, but I like it. I don't think he does, though.
I didn't like it the first time I heard it. I found it irritating, and I was like, "What is this?" But it is interesting, and I can't wait to see how this is staged tomorrow, how it's performed. Actually, same for quite a few of the ones this week. I really want to see the performances, and how they do it live.
Yeah, the staging's make or break in all of these, isn't it?
Not so much the previous two, but definitely this one. I think this will be the performances will make or break for this one. For Big Daddy Karsten as well. I really want to see how he does it.
I don't want it cheesy though. I don't want it to be like full-on Macbeth witches kind of job with axes in hands. But at the same time, I don't want it to be full-on Moulin Rouge either, because it could go that kind of modern Moulin Rouge. Yeah. You know, the women coming out their little outfits on.
It's got to be done with a light fun touch, with a humour about it, I think.
Yeah. But still not quite junior Eurovision either. It's going to be a fine line.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how this works out, because it might be a disaster. It might be an absolute disaster, or it might be brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a fine balance there, a fine line between it kind of going away. I'm interested to dearie me, I'm interested to know what people in Norway think of this, because people all over Europe seem to love it. Morten.
Well, of course, this is the bookies' favorite for tomorrow, and I think they're correct as well, because at least on our side, on our Eurovision Norway side page, this is the favorite for most people and the highest score. Of course, there are some people giving it 1, not understanding what even this song is, the lyrics, the instrumental, but the most people like this song and has this as their favorite, and I can understand that, because it's almost like you hear this song on a stage. I'm getting vibes like Halloween, clowns, witches, all that kinds of stuff, and I wish you could like throw clowns and witches and everything on the stage. I don't think that will happen, but it would be cool. But of course, this is one of the songs that is relying on having a good stage, show on stage, together with almost all of the songs to have a chance to go through. But I think this is the song that needs to have the stage perfect in order to like cruise through to the final.
Thank you, Morten. And the answer that you're all wanting, or the answer to the question that's all on your lips, has Elliot cleaned his bedroom? The answer is no. Tom?
Stuart?
This reminds me of both Maid and Jordan Clark's Freaks. Do you get that? Because you're a huge fan of that song. Maybe not the Maid version.
Yeah.
By the way, those who haven't got a clue what we're talking about, the UK's national final from 2019.
I would say it's got the vibe of Freaks, but I would say it lacks the catchy, cheesy hook that Freaks had. There we go, is what I would say. Because don't forget, Freaks had that kind of vibe to it, but the chorus to it was very much kind of clappy, cheesy, happy sing-along. Whereas I think Witchwoods is a bit edgier on that. I have to say, the chat room is awash with comments on it. Annie Joe saying it's cheeky and sinister at the same time, light and dark. Era saying, what a song, I love it. Eurovision staging could be amazing if they throw everything at it and get Kate Bush's stylist involved as well. And Gustav's suggesting that maybe it's not a song for the old crowd.
That cuts deep, doesn't it?
It's a well, I don't know. I'm younger than you, Stu. So you know, I don't know how deep does it cut. And then finally, comment of the night. Oban says that Donna seems to have way too much fun on mute rather than off mute. Back to you.
Thank you, Tom. Right, we're going to move now to the fourth and final qualifier of the evening. But before we do that, if you are enjoying tonight's show, we do that for you. We do it entirely for you. Give us a like, leave us a comment. Make sure you leave your comments in the chat room. We've had over 100 or 105 or 106 comments so far. So keep them coming in. They're coming on the screen. And if you like what we do here, give us a subscribe. And more importantly, click the bell button, because then you get to know when we go live and do these shows for you. And there are tons coming up. Song 4. First Norwegian entry of the evening. This is Ole Hartz with So that's your fourth song of the evening. Ole Hartz, he's been singing since he was 6 years old. He's 24 now. And actually he has millions of streams and reasonably popular across Scandinavia, certainly in Norway and also in Sweden. So, Ole Hartz, I have to be honest, I think this is a great song. This gets me up dancing. It's unequivocally, God, sorry, I've had a drink, Norwegian. And I can see this doing well tomorrow night. Let's go to Marius. What do you think about this?
Yeah, ding dong. Well, I love this song. It's just amazing. It's just, when was the last time a song went to Eurovision in Norwegian? 50 years ago? I would just love this to go to Eurovision. It has a Game of Thrones theme in the chorus, and then in the verse, and then it just goes all full Irish pub theme. I'm excited about this, but guys, I think this semi-final is probably the best so far. And with the duels, I think it's very important tomorrow that the right songs get in the right duel so they don't, kill each other off. So that is worrying me a bit tomorrow, which songs will go in each duel. For example, imagine this going against Witchwood, or this going against Daddy Bear. But as a song, it's just amazing. And I'm expecting a very kind of festive presentation tomorrow, and I can't wait.
So I don't know how you define this song. I guess Schlager, because it has multiple key changes and feels like it's written by one of the Schlager kings of Scandinavia. Joe, I've just got this feeling that this is going to be absolutely up your street. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. I absolutely love it. Can you just imagine this? You can imagine it having a beer in your hand, dancing with this. You can imagine it being the final song before everyone finishes at Eurofest. Everything, it could be a Eurocup. It just fits in. I love it, and I hope it wins. And he's lovely as well. And I didn't realise he was so young. You know when you look at his face, then yeah, he is. But he's sort of got that mature sort of appeal as well, which is why people of my age also like him. So.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, absolutely agree. Ian and Donna. Could this... So I was thinking about the age profile of this semi-final. We've got Big Daddy Bear, who's 32 years old. So he's in his 30s. So I'm going to call him one of the older ones, which is very sad, isn't it, when he's in his 30s? He's a young bear. And we have Ole, Emmy and Dinaye, who are all relatively young. Could we see Ole potentially split the votes with Emmy and Dinaye tomorrow night?
Well, yes, I think so, but not just in age profile, I think in style as well, because this kind of fits nicely between the extremes that we've got in this group actually, and it's a great fun song, isn't it? You like this one more, I think.
Yeah, I think this one's bloody brilliant. I love it. He's younger, but this doesn't sound like it's being written or performed by a young person, though. There's a more mature sound in this. So I don't think his actual age is going to directly impact on that. But yeah, this is great. The one thing I'm slightly worried about, this is a song that needs an audience. If this was the big audience in the arena and everybody clapping along, singing along to it, this would be amazing. The energy of the audience would be fantastic. And he's not going to get that, so there's a slight risk there, but I love that. This is the one you should be singing in the pub with a beer in your hand with your friends, and it's just great.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you very much for your comments. Tom, last year you were a huge fan of Ziguba, Justice for Ziguba. Are you a big fan of Ole Hartz?
The thing is, you're comparing this to the wrong song, Stu. I genuinely think you are comparing this to the wrong song from last year. I remember having a conversation with Morten on this show last year about a certain song called Stem Par May, which Morten was quite vociferous about. And I'd love actually to go to Morten now, because this song reminds me, I know the lyrics probably are totally different, but this seems to have the same vibe as Stem Par May in kind of the general, if you don't know the language, in how it all comes together. Morten, what do you think?
Well, first of all, Stem Par May was a train wreck of a song. That you can't even call that a song. You have to call that that was almost a break in the Norwegian semi-final. Like, no, okay, this is the time I go to get some more popcorn, get some more soda. But this song is actually quality. This song is good, and it has a small chance to go through to the final, just because it's so humoristic. If you listen to the lyrics, and it's so fun to be a Norwegian and understand the lyrics and the irony in it, and also how fun it is, and how many times you can play it on after ski, on parties as well. So it has a small chance to win, but that is if the staging is extremely well done, and like is as good as the lyrics and as good as the song, and he has to sing it real well. You can't like hear this or you can't vote for this song if he sings out of key, or if it just isn't good. So he has a chance. It is a small chance, but I'm actually rooting a little bit for this song.
I like it. It takes me back to football. And I kind of imagine myself in Dublin swigging a pint of Guinness to this. That's where I am with it. What about you, Tom?
To be honest, I've never discriminated against any kind of alcohol, Stu. So, I'd probably sway away to any alcoholic drink that someone gave me. It's it works like that. But if Guinness is what you're going to buy, I'll happily dance along with a pint of Guinness.
Yeah, I think the two would be a marriage made in heaven. Elliot, you got a point on this?
Yeah, going back to your point about football, when someone else mentioned it as well, it sounds like an anthem song. And when I first heard it, I was like, is this the song they were planning to send for the Norwegian song for the Olympics last year, and she's now moved to this year? And is that why they're doing it now? Because you get like these anthemic, football Olympic songs, and it fits right in with that. It reminds me a lot of Samir and Victor as well, and especially Barda Knockner, that sort of like jumping, bouncing, swaying sort of thing. It has a chance as anthemic, and it reminds me of a sea shanty. I can't say it. And those sort of songs, for some reason, are going viral on TikTok, and people are doing their own. So for the younger vote, this fits right in with that. But I want to see us pass, because I don't believe that voice with that face is 24. But it has a chance, but I think out of any of them, I think if this would probably get the wild card out of anything, and be happy to have that as the wild card vote, some diversity. But yeah, it's a very anthemic Olympics, football, World Cup sort of song, and that might sell it for people.
I think stage right, this can sell through tomorrow night, but that's just me. I'm interested to know what the chat room are voting for, and you can vote for your favourite of these four at menti.com 60, 57, 53 and 2. That's menti.com 60, 57, 53 and 2. Tom, what are the chat room chatters saying?
Do you know what? Really positive reaction. Britt says, sounds like a song one would sing in a football stadium. Doesn't really like it, but ESC Manga, Er Norge is an amazing song, and I hope Ole Hartz will be in the final. Gustav says, and he's cute, so he should be in that forest too. Oh, I don't know, Gustav. Also, says there will be a strong duel, and another will have one entry to sail through against Own Yourself. And I think that's a hint to basically how strong this song is. Again, it has a wonderful melody, my favourite after Hero. Annie Jo says that she agrees that he has a mature voice. And all in all, a really, really positive reaction in the chat to it. Keep your comments coming, guys.
Exactly. So we've probably got I don't know, 5 or so more minutes to vote if you haven't already, and then we're going to announce who you in the chat room have voted. However, there is a 5th song tonight, the pre-qualifier for the direct to the final of Melodi Grand Prix 2021. This song is Kaja Rode with Feel Again. What a wonderful song. Isn't it absolutely fantastic? The best song I've heard in a long time. That's for my panel. It's an inside joke. Kaja is 22 years old from Oslo, which means she's getting 12 points in the final from Oslo. She was a contestant on The Voice of Norway back in 2017, and this song is all about who she really is. What do we think? Personally, for me, it's 3 minutes of an absolute bop with a fantastic key change. Steve, what do you make of this?
Well, not surprisingly, I love it too. The only thing I think about it is I find her voice a bit nasally at the beginning, and I'd be interested to see how this one is performed live, but it's really, really catchy. I'm not sure it's a winner in the final, if I'm honest, but I think it could be there or thereabouts. But I really like the song, and it's so immediate, which I think is one of the secrets of a good Eurovision song at the end of the day. But I just I'll wait to see what the live performance is. I
find it cool and classy. There's something quite sexy about it, and it builds really beautifully. And I think her vocal hits those notes, a bit like Ulrika did last year. This could be incredibly powerful in the final. It's also got 2 key changes, guys. Key changes. Joe, this is fab, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't love it as much as you do, Stu, but yeah, I love that key. I love that really gorgeous key change, the really high note. I love that. I love that. She's a really good singer. So yeah, there's a bit of class in there, and you can tell, and you can understand why it's gone straight through. They're not silly, are they, when they put the ones through? So yeah, they could do well. She could do well. She could get in the top 4 in the final. Never know.
I think this will do better than most think. But like Stu Eurovision is saying just there. Let's go to Marius. Marius, what do you think about this one? Do you think this potential contender in the final?
I think it might get really close. Well-written song, great voice. Steve couldn't have put it better as well as you. It excites me. It's a really good quality song, and as you said, it deserved to go straight to the final. I think it might just go very close, but 2nd or 3rd in the final, I would say.
Thank you, Marius. Let's go to Lana next and get Lana's view on this, because she's a huge Kaido fan, and for good reason, and I think was standing ready last week, if I'm not mistaken. Lana, where does this sit for you?
Well, I feel like I should say goodbye to you all because Stuart is obviously going to kick me out of the panel right now. But I'm not really feeling
Getting the
it,
button
yeah.
ready.
Yeah, it's fine. No, it's okay. But like, kind of obviously better, much better. Maybe that's just my opinion. But yeah, and her voice kind of gives me Alicia from Poland last year vibes. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Not sure. Okay, let's move to Elliot next. Elliot, can I come
I think
to you
I'm
for
heading
your
out the
take on
door
this
of
particular
Lana
song?
because
I know
really
you're not a
don't
fan of
like
this
this.
either.
No, I'm not. I'm heading out the door of Lana. I think this is really dated and boring. She's got a great voice, but this song is arguably the weakest in MGP so far. It's so dated. I'm sorry. Like a cracking voice, but the key changes. Why? They're not necessary. It's just like they needed something to make this song stand out. It could change live. It could be amazing. But I'm a little confused as to why this went direct, to be honest. And I know that sounds really harsh to say, but there's nothing special about this song. I'm sorry. Not for me. I think it'll crash and burn in the final. I'm really not feeling the
You're
love for
entitled to your opinion, Elliot, but I will prove you wrong. We're going to move now to Ian and Donna on this particular song.
You first. Well,
So,
no, you go first.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great standard. It is. She's got a fantastic voice. That's clear. And I don't know if she's already doing it, but she's certainly got a career in musical theatre. That is, this song has, for me, it's got big musical theatre vibes. It is. There's a lot of stuff from Dreamgirls. This is similar to with more of a disco edge on it, but it's not. It's not a big standout. I don't think it is good, but I don't think it's great. It does sound like it's more part of a show than a single, essentially.
Yeah, this is almost like a solo filler before you reach the interval, isn't it? Really, it's to me, it's not a standout track. Yeah, I like her voice. I think she's a lovely voice, but it's so repetitive. I just feel again. That's all I remember. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a young thing, is it? It's a young thing. We have an
That's
older age group opinion one way, and then another one the younger way. What about Morton? What do you think, Morton?
Is this even a song? Obviously, this is the weakest in MGP so far. Of all the semifinals, of all the finalists. I don't understand how this is a direct qualifier. It doesn't do anything for me. It's too repetitive, too forgettable. Yeah, okay, her voice is okay, but that doesn't help a bad song. When you have a bad song, a good voice can't lift it up enough, and I'm just so frustrated that all this hype for this young, fantastic singer, and then the song just isn't good enough. So I'm sorry, but this doesn't do it for me. Of course, it has its audience, but that's not me or my fellow colleagues here.
And I'll be honest, you're joined
clearly-
with the chat room in that, Morton. You are not alone.
Fantastic.
I think to
Clearly,
silence do.
I'm on my own with this.
You've also
Can you hear me?
frozen a bit. You've also frozen a little bit, Stu. Oh no, you're moving again now. That's fine.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I apologise. I'm obviously having technical issues. I don't know what the
I think
hell's
your
going on with my
technology
panel
is crying
tonight. Clearly
out.
no taste whatsoever.
Do you want to know some of the comments from the chat room, Stu? Oh, Stu,
No, he doesn't.
he's well.
No, he
you
really
know what?
doesn't want to know, you know.
But
Tell us anyway, Tom. Tell us.
I'm gonna add to these comments anyway. So Martin says this was the weakest of the direct finalists for me so far, based on the studio version. Gustav reckons that Lana is on point tonight. Elena is saying that it's Kaino for the win. Oben beats it, says that makes three of us, my gang, Gustav and Alina. Oben's also concerned because he reckons, Ian, did Donna make you say this? We believed in you. essentially, and Gustav also says, and it is, I will admit, Gustav is being very, vocal in the chat tonight. So annoying, I have to like this song because of Elliot. Just throwing it out there. Oh, Stu, I'm gutted for you.
I'm not gutted for me. I'll end up being right in the end, and that will be. I'll prove correct, and we'll see tomorrow night. If you think this song is doing badly, you have no taste in music.
Stu, Stu, I just need to offer a couple of words, just 2 words, to your defence of this song that pulls down your argument. And I recall a Melfest show a couple of years ago now, and those 2 words are Dolly style. Did it get through? No. Did it make Andra Chanson? No. I'm just saying, just sometimes we just have to admit, like with Ziguba, when we're wrong.
I'm not admitting anything.
Side...
She's in the final, for goodness sake. We won't know for a few weeks. Right. Anyway, moving on.
Just in time for him to freeze again.
We're going to wrap this up because clearly my technology is failing. Tom, I think you better finish the show off. I can barely hear.
Well, you have been voting all evening for your favourite qualifier from semi-final 3. Who you think is going to make it through tomorrow night? So we have our 4 qualifiers there. Just before we go to the results, I'm just going to quickly go through the panel to see who we think's won the vote this evening. Let's start off with Elliot. Who's the winner this evening?
Which was without a shadow of a doubt.
Joe.
Er Norge.
Steve. Need to take yourself off mute, Steve, first.
Er Norge. Sorry about that.
Ian.
Er Norge.
Donna.
I'd say Witchwoods.
Marios.
Witchwood.
Morton.
I have absolutely no idea, but if I if I have to choose one right now, I'll probably choose Witchwoods. Okay.
Lana.
I am so sad I have to agree with Elliot, but it's Witchwoods for me.
Stu.
Oh, no question for me. It's Ole Hartz, Er Norge.
And I'm going to go for Big Daddy. So, Stu, let's see who has won tonight's vote.
Okay, so the winner of tonight's semi-final 3, Heat 3 for MGP 2021 is Ole Hartz with Er Norge with 292 points. And second place, Emmy Witchwoods.
Fantastic result there. So we've got 292 points for Er Norge. Witchwoods there with 222. Big Daddy, unfortunately, on the second half of the scoreboard, 179. Just in front of Own Yourself, which came in with 171 points. Shall we hear a little burst of the winner of tonight's vote again? Big congratulations to them. And of course, MGP is live on NRK if you're lucky enough to actually get that channel from 7:50 tomorrow night Central European time. If not, go to the website like some of us do around here and you can watch it on there as well. It's not geo-blocked. You can go and watch it. Now, I would normally say we'll be back tomorrow night, but alas, given the fact that myself and Elliot did a big preview of France on Wednesday evening, we're going to be watching France tomorrow night. We reckon you guys should too. Once you finish watching Norway, go across to TV Mond. Is it TV5 Mond? Sorry. And you can watch the France Eurovision selection. And that means for us, we're back on Sunday night. That's Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central European time. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you all join us as well. And we've got the panelists back as well. Now, Stu, have you managed to stop freezing yet?
I have no idea. Tonight's been so frustrating. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We've given your technology just a little bit of a rest for a second.
I'm glad I've finished the show because I didn't think I was about to. Thank you very much, Tom. Good show. And thank you to everyone in the chat room. I think you picked the winner. I do think Er Norge will win tomorrow night. So let's see.
Excellent. Now, all that leaves us to do is to thank tonight's panel. It's a massive thank you to Elliot.
Thank you, guys, and I shall see you Sunday.
Big thanks to Ian and Donna.
See you Sunday.
Big thanks to Steve.
See you on Sunday, and thank you.
Big thanks to Joe.
See you Sunday, everyone.
Big thanks to Lana.
I would like to especially thank Gustav, who seems to be my biggest supporter tonight, especially when I'm bashing Elliot's music taste.
Big thanks to Marius.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.
And as always, a big thanks to our Norwegian there. Big thanks to Morten.
Thank you. See you on Sunday when we all have gotten feel again.
Hey! And as always, a big thanks to the person who's been holding the show together. Obviously, it's my co-host. It's the wonderful Stu.
I need to hold myself together, Tom, quite honestly.
Oh, do you know what, Stu? It'll
very much
all be
all.
fine. We'll be back Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central European time. Have fun enjoying the whole wealth of Eurovision National Final season tomorrow night. And we'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.